Hey, welcome to my first YouTube video. My name is Maritz Natalia. I do prefer to go by Natalia now. And I wanted this to be my first YouTube video because this is a goal that I've had for a very long time. And this goal was to become the ideal person that I had in my mind. This ideal person, she had a consistent workout routine. She understood the value of nutrition and exercised good food portion control. And third, and most importantly, this individual, this ideal person, she did not stress eat. She did not look for food as a form of instant gratification. Instead, she used food to fuel her body and improve physical performance. So I've slowly been becoming that ideal person, and that is why I wanted to share this with you. I began by learning nutritional values, macros, different diets, seeing what worked for me, what didn't, and then trying out different exercises and even beginning to weightlift. Then in November, I heard about this thing in the fitness industry that they call a cut, a bulk, and a cut. It's a two-step process. You usually bulk first and then cut. If you don't know what a bulk is, it is where you go on a caloric surplus, which means that you eat a lot more in order to build muscle tissue because you are having a very rigorous exercise routine and you want to build muscle. You want the muscle gains. And then afterwards, you do a cut because during your bulk, you increase your body fat percentage, which means that you're looking a little fluffier. So I was skeptical. I didn't want to look a little fluffier. I wanted to be cut. But this is a two-step process and I had to trust, right? This is something that they do in fitness all the time. And so I went on my bulk and this is what I look like. I'm a little fluffy, but I built so much muscle and I saw so much improvement in the gym. Another factor is that I don't measure myself with the scale. The scale for me is only a way to gauge how much weight I'm gaining or losing per week. If I gain or lose more than 2 pounds per week, I know that A, there's something wrong with my diet or I'm exercising too much. I'm doing something wrong, my body's under too much stress. So I don't increase or decrease my weight more than 2 pounds per week throughout my bulk and my cut. And so when I would get on the scale, I had to remind myself the number does not matter. The number is just a number, and I would measure myself with the measuring tape. That's how I gauge my progress. And then came February. I was so excited to start my cut. Now this is where I was going to get those, that muscle definition and just look the way that I did and exercise all those healthy habits, become that ideal person, because in order to do a cut, you have to do a consistent exercise routine, a clean diet, and then no stress eating. And I began in February. The first week, I suffered a concussion. And then I had to recover from that. 3 weeks later, I was sick with COVID-19. And I felt like this was a step back. Like I was now not doing so well. This wasn't progress. And I had to remind myself, no, I had to be patient. And I had to make sure that I recovered, that my body was okay, and that I wasn't stressing it out, because then something might go wrong and then I won't be able to do my cut at all. And I might, my health is at risk. So in May, after weeks of no physical activity and making sure that I was eating all the right nutrients to really build my body up again from COVID-19, I started my cut May 15th. And 66 days later, oh my gosh, I have lost 5 centimeters around my waist. And I have even gained a centimeter in my arms. Like my arms are bigger than they were during my bulk. So I can't tell you how beneficial this bulk and cut has been. And I definitely trust in this method. But more than that, it taught me consistency, it taught me self-discipline, and it taught me to be patient. Everything takes time. So this video is sectioned off into 3 parts. The first part is a window into my fitness cut, and I'm showing you week 6, week 7, and week 8 in my fitness cut. Every single day for those 3 weeks, I would put on a bathing suit, I'd go outside, and I'd videotape a 360 video of me. In order to see my progress from day to day and week to week, you can tell that it takes time to see results. You can't see results or much change in 3 weeks. And then week 7 and week 8 were the hardest weeks. There was a stressful family situation, and I had to really push my perfectionism aside and say consistency. That is what you need. Don't focus on the mistakes that you make. You just want to keep progressing. The second part of this video is the diet, which is extremely important, especially as an emotional eater. I wanted to break that habit. And then step 3 is my workouts. So let's go and get into that. So this is a window into my cut, 3 weeks. I would go outside and do a 360 video. I encourage you to pause the video at any time so that you can see, you can't see progress from day to day. That's just not how it goes. You have to wait weeks and be patient. So week 6 was pretty normal, pretty regular. Week 7 though, I had a little bit of difficulty because my brother had a graduation and I wanted to indulge with everybody else in a little bit of sugar and a little bit of, fun. And I ended up indulging a little more than I would have liked to have. So I just kept going. You make mistakes, you learn from them, you continue. When it came to week 8, however, my grandmother, it was 4th of July weekend, which is huge here in the United States as it is Independence Day. And my grandmother, the day before, she got more than a dozen stitches. And I was the one who was helping her with her bandages and making sure she was okay. So I wasn't focused on my macros and my workouts as I normally would. So if I haven't said this before, abs are made in the kitchen. So when I started my fitness cut and lowering my body fat percentage, I really had to focus on clean eating and breaking that sweet tooth of mine. So I had to find other tricks to satisfy that craving and also find out what my macros were. And I did so by trying out 5 different diets throughout the entire year. Each diet I did for at least minimum a month and a half. And those were the paleo, the Mediterranean, the vegan diet. With the vegan diet, I had to go out of my way to search for other alternatives instead of animal-based products, such as almond milk. It got me into almond milk and I love it so much. And then protein. I always eat chicken, and somehow, of course, on the vegan diet you can't eat chicken, so I started getting into protein shakes and supplements and things that, a lot of vegetables. The other 2 diets that really helped me find out what my macros were was the keto diet. All of my friends are doing the keto diet and they love it, and I was doing the keto diet. I loved it at the beginning. Like, I had boundless energy. And then I started to get hangry. After like the 3rd week, I would go to sleep with like a burbly tummy. So I'd eat like 2 giant heads of cauliflower, but still I'd go to bed and I wasn't satisfied. So after the keto diet, I tried the high carb, low fat diet, and that was so effective and definitely the diet for me. So whereas my friends do the keto, my body is comfortable with high carbs and low fats. This helped to know how to decrease my macros. I progressively decreased my macros throughout the 66 days that I was doing my cut, and I had to also find what foods worked for me. So in terms of macros, I track my macros on a calorie counting app, but I don't look at my calories. I have memorized the foods that are high in calories. They have a high calorie count, such as avocados. Now, this is a healthy fat. It is wonderful, but it is high in calories, so I'll only eat about a quarter. And then a banana. Wonderful source of potassium and great after a workout, but it's high in carbs because it's high in sugar, and it also has a high calorie count. So I'll only have maybe about half of a banana. And then for protein, the lean protein that I always go to is chicken. Chicken. And then fish, such as cod or salmon. Not everybody likes cod. I'll put a little bit of olive oil with salt. And then for unrefined carbs, I don't always eat unrefined carbs. I will eat noodles that are unrefined or white rice, but my mom, she did raise me on brown bread, so I'll always have brown bread with eggs for breakfast. And then when it comes to rice, I'll have brown rice every once in a while. But I like to switch it up a lot. And my mother, the other part is that I'm living at home. So my mother, she cooks, and she is an amazing cook. She cooks all kinds of stuff. And the cuisine is great, but I have to make sure that my serving sizes, because I'm not preparing my food and I'm not counting, okay, this amount of protein, this amount of fat. I have to ask her, you know, what went into everything. And I'm not a picky eater. I also have to count my macros before I eat so that I'm not overdoing my macros or underdoing it. And I found that, I mean, I can eat just about anything. I don't think I've eaten a salad more than a handful of times. It's not like I had to eat lettuce every single day. And I enjoyed what I ate, as you're watching here on the side. And as for when I eat, I tend to eat intuitively, which means that when I wake up, if I'm not feeling hungry, I don't eat anything. I always have to ask the question when I put something in my mouth, am I hungry? Would I want to eat iceberg lettuce? Would I want to eat an apple? And if the answer to all those three questions is no, then I'm not hungry. I put it back down, I put it away, and I'll eat it later. But it really helps with my emotional eating. You know, if I'm anxious, I'll just grab something like a chocolate bar. Suddenly I ask myself, am I really hungry? Is this nutritious? And the answer is no, then I put it back, I put it away. Or sometimes I throw it out. And you have to do that if you want to eat clean. And I definitely wanted to break my habit of, you know, going for the sugar, going for the emotional eating. I would throw it out, or I would just put it back in the fridge in the back and get it later when I was hungry. Now, that does not mean that I don't eat sugar. I will get a spoon every once in a while and have a bite of apple pie or ice cream. And I've gotten so well at tracking my macros that my nutrients, I'm getting all the right ones. I don't have the sweet tooth craving anymore. And I think that was the biggest problem, that I wasn't getting some of the essential nutrients, and therefore my body was craving this high calorie food that satisfied, you know, mental pleasure and everything. And when I do have a craving, a sugar craving that's really bad, I go for a protein shake. Now, when I was doing the vegan diet, I had to find another source of protein that wasn't animal-based. So they have vegan protein shakes. And I tried that, and it was fantastic. But then I tried white isolate, and that was even better. So it is not vegan, but it is lactose-free, and it is 0 grams of sugar. And I promise you, it tastes like a chocolate milkshake. If you have a sweet tooth like mine, or you're a chocoholic, that definitely was a trick that saved my life. Other than that, I think we are done here in the kitchen. Let's go to workouts. So my workout routine, because COVID-19 left me with less lung capacity than before, I do a little bit of cardio, but I can't run like I used to, and I can't do the HIIT sessions that I enjoy doing. So I do a lot of weightlifting and body weights, which I show on my Instagram. And in terms of how frequently I do every day at least 10 minutes of abs, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, and then I'll do an hour of solid body weights, and then maybe an hour of weightlifting. In terms of taking a rest day, if I need it, if I feel like my body is under too much pressure or I'm gonna get sick, then I will take the day off and I'll only do my 10-minute ab workout. And then in terms of cardio, I will dance a lot, maybe for a half hour, and yeah. Let's look at some of the workouts that I've been doing throughout the course of these 66 days. This is only the beginning. I will continue to set goals and achieve them, showing you the progress on social media. So don't forget to subscribe or follow me on Instagram. I hope you give me some feedback. Until the next video.